Respected Dr. Kumar, convener of this conference, Mr. C. Sadish Kumar, Mr. A. Saravanan, co-conveners of this conference, and all the organizing committee members, advising committee members of Puducherry Academic Researcher Association, who is organized by this international conference, which will be exposing on international conference on pre and post of COVID-19 higher education and opportunities on 28th May 2020. As a resource person of this conference, really I am very happy to see and talk about this title, which is prepared by Dr. L. Vijay Kumar, convener of this conference. Most of the people should know about this COVID-19, which is affecting throughout the world. As we know that, first I would like to talk about what is COVID-19, coronavirus disease 2019, which is originated originally from China. 2019 November, the end of the November and starting from the December, and it has been spread over throughout the nation in China. The COVID-19, it is a pandemic disease, and which will be affected or which is affecting throughout the world, especially in India. As per the today the current news informations, we have been affected a lot, and we are under the serious conditions. Even though we are in the lockdown situations, which will be expressed about our regulations, our serious and sincerity, and how we can protect ourselves and how we can save from coronavirus. So based on this title, pre and post COVID-19 higher education and opportunities. In India, as we know that in India, it is a large level educational institutions, universities, colleges, and which will be providing the quality education to the students, not only for the national student as well as at international level students. Before 2013-14, and we got the good result in the economic, education, technology, industrial development, productions, marketing, digital economy, and etc. So what was happened after 2013-14? As usually we are declined our economical position, our economical condition. Since after that 2016, 17, 18, 19, it was gradually decreased our economical and GDP, economical growth as well as the GDP. Immediately we could see that after the COVID-19, totally education, economic, transport, industries, all the economical positions have been declined. So because of the pandemic. Okay, now the in India, near about 2016 it had been stopped the dual courses, but now again they have been started. So after the pandemic, after the COVID-19, we are going to start about that courses, and which will be exposes for the student benefit. So before COVID-19, it was the regular education. So enrollment was more. The different courses have been introduced. Higher educations, school educations, research courses, research related. So we have been enjoyed a lot, but the people are going to affect education wise, economically, because of the pandemic COVID-19. So how it will be? Because of India is a higher education system is the world's third largest in terms of the student, next to China and the United States. Maybe in futures, India will be the one of the largest educational hubs. India's higher education sector has the wonderful witnessed a tremendous increases in the number of universities, university level institutions, colleges since the independence. After that, you can see that in India, it is a compulsory for all the people. The free education must be given for all the children's age group from 6 to 14. It is very compulsory for us, and it is focusing the international educational system. The international people are following our Indian educational system. So because of the near about the 60%, more than 60%, the higher education institutions in India are promoted by the private sectors. Most probably, the before 2013 or after 2013 or 2014, the higher education, the private institutions have been increased. So wherever go, we could see them private institutions. And up to the as of 2008, India, the post-secondary institutions offer only the enough seats for 7% of India's colleges populations which are related with higher educations. 25% of teaching positions which will be nationwide or vacant. And the 57% of college professors, the lack of either a master's or PhD degree, maybe after that, maybe in between the 2011 to 2013. As of 2011, there were 1,522 degree granted in engineering colleges in India, with an annual student intake of 582,000, which are related with the science and technology educations, as per the 2009, 10, 11, which will be exposing in India. So because of, there is no doubt in India, which is most popularized in educational industries, educations. Wherever go in the world, everybody are talking about India. India is educational industries. It is not for the monetary. It is not for the other industries. It is especially for the educations. So because of, we are very happy to say, and we are very happy to say that we are Indian. We are very proud of Indian. So because of wherever go in the world, we may focus the Indian people is having the more knowledge, more qualifications, and they will be exposing at the international level. The Indians teachers services and education services needed throughout the world. So because of our growthness is high, and there is no doubt. Okay, whatever it may be, the growth of the higher educations in India, as well as the school educations. There is no doubt it's a tremendous in the higher educations as well as the school educations. And what about the economical conditions for the people? So most of the people, poor people, the near about 78 to 80 percentage people are very poor, and which is following the government norms, and those who are studying in government schools. And whereas if you go to the private schools, those who are having the economical positions, those who are the healthy in the economic position, and they should go for the private schools. So when you are compared to private and government school, the government school is focusing at the international level, whereas the private school also is focusing at international level. But what is the difference between the government as well as the private? The government is providing all the necessary things for the students up to the school level, and the private school, the parents, they are spending all the financial activities for the concerned students for their educations. So after that, both are struggling for the job or recruitment or interview, and both are fighting for the government job. So because it is very common in India, wherever go and other countries, you could not able to find such kind of the competition, such kind of the activities. The government providing all the necessary facilities for the educations from the school up to the college. So because of the different countries are spending a lot of financial or economical or finance for the higher educations. And also what are the 2011 and 12, you can see that near about 659 universities and 33,023 colleges up to the December 2011-12. After that, near about 80 years, what the central government, state governments are trying to do somewhat the natural or talented, which are related through the focusing on the number of universities as well as colleges, and which will be expansions of the higher educations. Most of the people or most of the students, they are studying the higher education. Near about more than 90% people are studying higher educations, and near about 99% they are covering the primary education, so there is no doubt. But the UGC is the main governing body which are related with enforcing the standard, advices the government, and the help to the coordinate the between the center as well as the state government. Most of the central government schools, what they are doing, how they are focusing. And if you are coming to the state level students, they are struggling to compete with the central school. Why? What is the problem? Where is the problem? So because of the central government is taking the more responsibility for their role, whereas the state government, they are not taking that much the strength to the student. They are not, sometimes you can see that they are not bothering about the student. Why? Because they are doing the politics, they are doing the different economical and financial politics. So because they are not able to concentrate in the education as well as higher educations. So because of the CBS board student, the central government schools, they are high level competition with other students. When you go for the state government students, they could not able to compete that much to the central government or CBS school. So what is the main reason? The main reason is the system. The main reason is the coaching. The main reason is the involvement of the students. The main reasons of the exposing the teachers by the central government. The central government providing all the facilities for the school, and when compared to the state government, the central government teachers salaries are more than 30% or 25% increased, or they are enjoying more. So because of they are committing their life for the student development and educational development and institutional development at the central government at the central level. But the state government, they are not focusing that much. So that is bad situations in Tamil Nadu, not only Tamil Nadu, in throughout the nations. Whereas, so what are the challenges in higher educations? Most of the schools and colleges, we can see that now we are in the 23rd year of the independence. Is it right? I think so. 73, yeah. 73. 73, yeah. It is 73rd, yeah. Oh, yes, okay. So because of, so what was our education, how we have been improved? And what are the different uncertainty and challenges which will be exposing in our life or focusing in our life, which will not be providing by the government, or which will not be taken over by the government for develop their higher educations? And what are the major challenges? Enrollment of the student, they can't able to, the cross environment ratio is very difficult. More or less 15 percentage, 20 percentage, they are taking their admissions or developing their country for their enrollment of the student. And equity, quality, infrastructures, political interference, faculty arrangement, availability, accreditations by the government or NAC, research and innovations, structure of the higher educations, we are struggling each and everything. Whereas you can see that the different challenges in educations, even right now we are having lot of trouble to study and read and commit to our educations. So whatever it may be, this is a vacation period. Is it? Yeah, this is a vacation period. Even though how the students are struggling, how the parents are struggling, they could not be able to control the student. They could not be able to provide, they could not be able to feed to the students. So because of the lockdown, we could not be able to move from one place to another place. So we could not be able to take over the children's, and the parents, they are having a lot of struggle and a lot of changes to control their students, their children's. So because of the lockdown, even though lockdown situations, how it will be supporting for us in another way. In the lockdown situations, it's helpful to the regulating the students or regulating the children's, the how we can improve and how we can show the quality, and how we can learn the moral, and how we can commit for education, family, and how we can learn the different things in addition, extracurricular activities, all the things. Because of we people are locked down or at our home. 144 through the 144 means we could not able to gather more than 5 students or 5 people or 5 public people. So that is a lockdown. They are opened task mark for their benefit. That is different. At the time of the lockdown, the many people have been affected through the task mark business. That is a government mistake. We don't talk about that. That is whether the government or not, we don't feel about that. Now we are talking about the educational system. So why? Because if there is no quality in higher educations, there is no multi-dimensional, there is no multi-level activities, there is no dynamic concept which will be ensuring, which are related with our quality in higher educations. And differently, we could not able to maintain, and we could not able to focus our life, and we could not able to learn the good things which are related with the higher education in India. However, the government is continuously focusing on the quality educations. That is most important, and we have to appreciate the government in different ways compared to other countries. In these situations, the pandemic COVID-19 situations, 144 situations, lockdown situations, the ministers, the government, they are thinking about the student educations. We have to appreciate at the same time the other countries, they are thinking about their life. They are thinking about our children's life. But our country is thinking about the educations, assignments, how we can conduct the examination, how we can go for the further education, how can teach to the students. They are thinking about the educations. Whereas I am working in East Africa as a professor at Samara University. As you know that I am teaching. I locked down when I came for the vacation. I locked down here in India, but I am teaching to my student through online. Through I am giving the assignment through online. But this is our duty. So we have to do that duty, even though in the lockdown. The lockdown, it is norms which will be followed by the government for the controlling of the public people without any disturbance to the public people. Don't gather each other, don't fight each other, don't blame each other. So because of we are keep quiet, we are safe, or we are stay at home, we have to avoid the spreading over the COVID-19. So because of we are locked down, in that situations, how we can talk about the educations, how we can improve the education, how it will be developed in educations. Even though it will take after 2 years, 3 years to settle our education is the proper way. Yes, it is an international survey saying that even in America, the Mr. Trump is saying that it will take even 1 or 2 years to settle everything, even the economical, financial, industries, education, so all the things, and which will be settled to the public people in America. So because of not only the America, the Spanish, Italy, China, Pakistan, everywhere, China, most of the people, they are thinking about their life, not for the educations. But we people are thinking about educations. Really, we have to appreciate. So, okay, the poor people, how they are feeling about the infrastructure in the higher educations or the school educations. So before COVID-19, that is different. Leave it that. So after the COVID-19, we have been affected a lot in that situations. So how we can think about the education? Who will think about the infrastructure? And who will bother about the infrastructure? And who will raise up the question on the infrastructure? And who will take over the infrastructure? And how we can arrange the education for the student? And whether we can go for the educations continuously through the online or physically, and how it will be possible. So because even the political structure, it is not that much exposing in India. The only the problem, the political people. If we go, the most of the educational institutions are owned by the political leaders. The private schools, colleges, who are playing the key role in the government bodies of the universities, they are using the innocent students for their selfish means. Students organize, combine, forget their own objectives and begin to develop their careers in politics. So because of in India, everywhere throughout world there may be a political interference, but in India 100% there is a political interference. So because of we could not able to go up higher level. Even you can see that those who are not having the church kind of the quality or education's background, all that people are having the college, all the people are owned their college, but the qualified people, qualified teachers are working under that politician. This is the situations. So we could not able to overtake, we could not able to avoid this situation in India. Yes. So you can see most of the institutions, there is no faculties. There is a lot of shortage inability of the state educational system to attract and retain the well qualified teachers have been posing the challenges to quality education for many years. Most of the institutions, they won't bother about the faculty, they won't bother about the teachers, they won't think about the teachers, but the teachers are having the lot of pain to develop their students, improve their students. So what is the qualification in India? Okay, the NET, National Eligibility Test is must. State level eligibility test is must. And PhD also is most important. And what is the meaning of the SLET NET and PhD? And why we are confused by the government, the central government as well as the state government? We don't know that. The high level, the highest qualifications of PhD, and those who are completed the highest qualification of PhD, they should have the academic staff, they should have the teacher positions. It is a system, but apart from that, even if you completed the PhD and you must be completed the NET, SLET, there may be some more the system which is followed by the state and central government. So because of we should develop our education means we have to motivate our faculty. The faculty must be the qualified person. The qualification must be prescribed in the good manner by the government, and we have to motivate the teachers to teach to the student, and the institution must be accredited by the NAC committee, and which will be focusing their good research, whether the institutions are focusing the proper way, whether the institutions are providing the good education to the student, whether the institutions are taking the different developing activities to the student, the how we can teach the student, how we can learn by the student, and teaching learning, everything must be re-accredited and by the government or NAC body, as well as we have to develop our education institution as well as the universities. So we have to improve whether the research, when we are going to conduct the research, whether the nominal scholars in our country whose writing is cited by the famous Western authors, there is an inadequate focus on research in higher education estimate or institutes. There are insufficient resources and facilities, as well as limited member of the quality faculty to advise the students. Most of the research scholars are without followings or not getting their fellowships on time, and which will direct or indirectly affecting their research. So most of the it was happened for me also. There is no proper advising, there is no proper guidelines, there is no proper remuneration, there is no proper fellowship, there is no proper way should complete their PhD. So that is the research scholars, they are struggling a lot. They could not able to do the innovation on the research, they could not able to do the innovation on their educational background. It is the most important to develop their activities. So because of universities as well as the colleges, they are not taking care that much in India when you go for the higher educations. It is very normal. Even the political structures, it is collapsed the whole educations. It will be interfere in all the ways. So because of the education is going down. The ministers, education minister is not a qualified person. The law minister is not a qualified person. The industrial person is not a qualified person. That how we can improve all the things. Those who are the education, government, political. The government, educated people, political, there is no educations. The political people, there is no education, but the government, there is education. Who have been appointed IAS officer, but equivalent to the minister. There is no educations. It is not suitable for IAS knowledge, IAS officer skills and development. they are having the 10th standard, 12th grade, just the pause of the 10th or 5th, 4th standard, the ministers, how the education will be developed. Must be, the education minister must be passed the PhD. They should know the pain. Practically, they should know what is the pain of the research scholar, what is the pain of the faculty, what is the pain of the teachers. The minister, educational minister, must be completed the PhD or at least a master degree. They should know, they should feel about the reality of the educations. Then we can improve our education in the right way, and we can develop and we can grow our education the right way. So whatever it may be, in Indian structure, the good structure is there. The political people interfere in all the ways. If we go for the higher education, there is a political interference. If we go for the 12th grade, 12th standard, 10th standard, there may be a political interference. Wherever go, the politicians are forcing, or politicians suffer the students. So because it is having a lot of problem, the total structure in the higher education, it is having the lot of problem. It is very difficult, it is very challenges to centralize the educations, and how we can find out and what are the lack of accountability, and who are the people, what are the transparency, and what are the professional activities, and which will be exposing the higher level, higher education. The structure must be given in the proper way. So because of the different kinds of the challenges, the different kinds of uncertainty which are related with our higher education, when you are going to improve our higher educations. So the next point, what about our opportunity for the higher education? We are talking about the challenges and having the many problem. The compulsory age is 6 to 14 years, the compulsory education must be given. Okay, it is, everything is okay. But after the COVID-19, the coronavirus disease 2019, after that, now we are under the lockdown. When we are talking about the educations, when you are talking about that situations, we are in the under 144 lockdown. So how we can improve after 2 months, after 3 months, after 1 year, after 2 years, or after 5 years, we don't know that. So wherever go, even in India, it is a very large country. The different languages, the different communities, different religions in India. India is not only the India. Indians are in the different phases, with an estimated population of young people aged between 18 to 23 years to be around more than 150 millions. So how we can maintain, and how we can take over the student, and how we may go for the enrollment the student, registration of the student, admission of the students after COVID-19. Whether it is possible? Yes, possible, but it will be taking a lot of pain. The opportunities, take for example, maybe I am thinking about that, maybe after that lockdown, the education system, maybe the 80% to 85% should be followed the online education. I think so. If the people are following the online educations, the government should have more benefit, the student don't get the more benefit. So because of the physical teaching is most important. Online education, it is information, it is not education. The online teaching, it is information, it is not education, it is not a teaching, it is not a learning. The teaching, learning, both the teacher as well as the student should be discussed in the class face to face, and which will be exposed and express on their face, and we could see, and accordingly we can teach to the student. Is it possible after COVID-19? Even we don't know that, because still we are under the lockdown, and we are 2000, before 2013-14, 8.7 it was GDP of India. Now we are 0.5% in GDP, economic GDP. So how we can develop the economical position? how we can improve the economical conditions, how it will be focusing the future educations, how we can produce the new education list, how we can produce the strengthen the student, the healthy student, the knowledgeable student, the quality student, quality faculty, quality teachers, the skilled teachers, and where we can teach to the people. Where is the platform to teaching, learning, and how the government is going to provide them teaching and learning platform to develop the student. That is the major question. As a professor, I am thinking about that. It is not possible to develop education because of it will take more time to compromise these situations which will be focusing on our education. The COVID-19 on education is badly affected. Still we could not able to conduct the 10th examinations and the 11th 12th examinations. So how we may go for the higher level education to improve their knowledge, and how we can improve and how we can develop our higher educations. So this is the situations. The situations, the politicians are utilizing the situations and they are directing the wrong way. They are confusing the public people. The public people, we people are trusting the MLA, MPs, Minister, Chief Minister, Prime Minister. But they are saying that you can clap, you can make a light, the corona will be gone. Our Chief Minister said that within 3 days, corona will be removed from Tamil Nadu. But now, day by day, it is increasing. Especially at Chennai, it is increasing every day. Minimum 400, 500. At the time of the less virus spreading in India, in Tamil Nadu, as well as in Tamil Nadu, there were a lockdown. There were a strict lockdown. But when the people are affecting more, the lockdown will be released. And what is the controversy of the government? When the people are going to affect, at the time of that we needed the very strict and lockdown. But now what we are doing, we are released totally. The people are moving without any fear on the road. They are doing the different activities and they are going to spread, or they are spreading the virus to all the people. Finally, the Tamil Nadu is going to down. That is the aim of our Prime Minister. So because in that situations, how we may go for the higher education development? Through the online. The education must be through the online. Okay. So if we go for direct in the school, who will be affected? Kids are affected. The school will be open. The education minister said that school will be open. June, July. The school will be open means, and who will be affected? Any minister will be affected. Our kids will be affected. Our kids will be affected. Which one is most important? Life is most important. Education is most important. Education is important when if I am alive to develop my life. If I am not alive, and what is the meaning of the education? So because of after COVID-19, education will not be settled. It is having lot of problem, and we could not able to develop the educations, higher education, even the school education, the throughout the world, not only India. So because of, even you can see that if we go for the Indian higher education system, suppose if it is growing very fast, irrespective of the various challenges, but there is no reasons that these challenges cannot be overcome. That is different. But even though, so how we can take over it? Because of here in India, religious, community, economic, it's having lot of problem among us. We are fighting each other. Even in this pandemic restricted 144 situations, the people are fighting each other. The people are killing the lower caste people, higher caste people and lower caste people. And how it will be, how and who will be developed? So because of it is maybe the very big challenges even after settlement of our situations. The opportunities for more opportunity for the strategic engagement and capacity building in the higher education leadership and management at the state level, there is no doubt. But there are more opportunities for India to collaboration at a national level and international level on areas of the different system of the reform of educations, because of which will be including the quality assurance, international credit recognitions, and unified national qualifications framework. Because of that, the equality which will be related with the educations should give the more opportunity in the higher education when you are going to consider which will be essentials of the higher educations. Otherwise we could not able to develop the educations. The government should be formed in the right way. The government should be develop their education in the right way. The government should be utilize the whole power to introduce the new system, and which is eliminated or which will not be eliminated, and which will be healthy and which is not healthy, and everything should be found, and we have to give to the student, and the student will be enjoyed. Otherwise it is not that much easy to develop the education, especially the higher education after even COVID-19 settlements, or when once if it is settled the COVID-19, definitely it will take minimum 6 months to settle in India, and throughout the world it will take minimum 1 year. So how we are going to develop, and what are the most important suggestions which will be given by me to improve the system which are related to the higher education? There is a need which will be implement, innovate and transformational approaches from primary to higher educations, not only for the higher education, primary to the higher education level, to make Indian education system globally for more relevant and competitive even after the settlement of the COVID-19. The higher education system or higher education institutes which will be needed to improve their quality and reputations, and which are related with our concern higher education as well as the school educations. So even after the COVID-19, there should be a good infrastructure of the colleges and universities which may attract the student, or which may safety for the student, or which may develop their intellectual or develop their skill with the safety, as well as satisfy the parents. The government must promote the collaborations between Indian higher education institutes and top international institute, and also generate the linkage between the national research laboratories, and which will be helpful for the promotion of the educations and providing the good education for the students, and which will be helpful for promoting the education throughout the world, especially in India. The different universities or colleges, both in public or private, must be away from the political affiliations. When the political people are interfere, definitely we could not able to manage, we could not able to develop our educations, and which is very very dangerous conditions in India, and which will be removed from education. All the political people, all the political interference, then the which will be developing our education system. There should be a multidisciplinary approaches in a higher educations, so that the student knowledge may not be restricted only up to his own subject, because of we could not able to develop our higher education. The student must support to the government. The government should focusing the good information to the student, on parents, on public. the image. The government should be create the new image which will be hoped by the public people. Then we have to improve our education and we have to develop our conditions. So because of we have to discuss a lot and it will take more time to compile all the things. I think more or less I have been covered all the things which will be helpful for us, and the higher education, how we are handling, how we are handle with care the student, and how fast 2 or 3 months we could not able to our students. The students are struggling whether I am going to get the good grade or not. The government is saying that all the students are pass except third year student, and how the third year students are going to get their result and grade, and how they are accommodate their life, and when they are going to get the grade and graduation convocations, and all the problem which are related with higher education. The students are fear about their life in future. There is a there is a need to focus on the graduate students by providing them such courses in which they can achieve excellence, gain the deeper knowledge of subject, so that they will get job after recruitment in the companies, which would reduce the unnecessary rush to the higher educations. So because of the students, everybody, not only the students, the parents also, they are fearing about their life. How today there is no job, there is no recruitment. Even recently, day before yesterday, announced by the state government, there is no recruitment up to the settlement of the COVID-19. The COVID-19 very supportive for all the government people. They are very lucky. They have to do anything without the people consent, without the member consent. Our government, the prime minister, they are going to take any kind of the decisions which will be supporting for them, for their people, and totally we people are going to affect in educations, employment, industries, and all the things. And it's a very big question is education and employment in the nations in future. Nowadays also it is a very big question, and how the government is going to provide the job to all the students, it is a question mark. So because of, I am very happy to see all the students and all the teachers, faculties and research scholar, and I hope you got some points from our discussions, our presentations. Really, I am very happy to see all the people. I am very thankful to our Dr. Vijay Kumar, the convener of this conference, and all the participants and faculty members, and the Puducherry Academic Researcher Associations, all the committee members. Really, I am very happy to say the thank you to all. I am very, very happy. We will meet another occasions and we will meet another conference. Thank you very much.